When she tried to leave the date, he locked the car door from the driver's side. She pulled a handle. It didn't open. He looked at her and said they weren't done yet. That was the moment she understood what kind of night this was going to be. And the only reason this story has a normal ending is because of three strangers who chose to pay attention. The date was arranged through an app. His profile was unremarkable. Normal photos, decent conversation in the lead-up, no obvious flags. They agreed on a restaurant in a public area. That choice, a busy, well-staffed restaurant in a visible location, turned out to be the decision that probably kept the situation from becoming something much harder to talk about. The first signal came before she had even opened the menu. Before she could look at it, he told the waiter what they'd both be having. She said she hadn't decided. He told the waiter to ignore that. She'd have the same as him. The waiter paused. He looked at her. She looked at the menu. She told the waiter her actual order. He told the waiter to ignore her again. The waiter took her order. He went quiet after that, the kind of quiet that isn't calm. After about an hour and several more uncomfortable exchanges, she decided to end the date. She said she needed to get home. He said they hadn't had dessert yet, and she couldn't leave. She said she was leaving. He said he had driven her, and she'd have to wait until he was ready to go. It was only at that moment that she fully registered. Her exit from this restaurant required getting back into his car, and his car was in a dark lot 2 blocks away. She excused herself to use the bathroom. A woman at a table nearby had been watching the dynamic for an hour. Not her friend, not someone she knew, just a woman who had noticed something that felt wrong and followed her in. In the bathroom, she asked if she was okay. She said she wasn't sure. The woman gave her number and said, "If you need a ride out of here, I'm your ride." That woman is now one of her closest friends. From the bathroom, she texted her sister everything. Her sister called the restaurant directly, a stranger asking a host to check on a specific table in a specific section. The host took it seriously. She alerted the manager. The manager walked over to the table. He saw the dynamic before anyone said a word. And the date, seeing a manager approach without being summoned, became immediately and visibly agitated. She returned to the table and found the manager already there. She asked if she could pay her portion of the bill and leave separately. The date said she wasn't paying separately. She asked the manager directly. He said, "Of course, absolutely." The date stood up from his chair. He grabbed her wrist. The manager called the police immediately. 2 other patrons who had been watching from nearby tables stepped between them without being asked. They placed themselves physically between her and him. It took the police 7 minutes to arrive. By the time they did, he was outside. She was inside. Someone from the kitchen had sent out a free dessert for her, the one she had never ordered. Police spoke to both of them. No arrest. The wrist grab was brief, and she chose not to press charges, not wanting a longer process. His dating profile was reported by both her and the bathroom stranger. The platform removed it within 24 hours. She posted the story to a women's safety forum, and it spread widely. The comments filled with people who recognized the same patterns. The ordering, the "you can't leave," the locked car, the manufacturer dependency, described in similar sequences in different cities by different women. What she says stuck with her is not him. It's the strangers. The woman who followed her into the bathroom and gave her a phone number. The host who took a call from someone she'd never met and acted on it. The manager who walked over without being asked. The 2 people at nearby tables who put themselves between her and a stranger. She came in alone. She left with more people in her corner than she'd arrived with. She says that's the story she wants to tell. Not the date, but the humans who chose to pay attention on a random Tuesday when it would have been much easier not to. If you had been at a table nearby, would you have stepped in or stayed out of it? Honest answer only. Follow Chaos Diary. There's a new story here every single day.